Welcome to another episode of the Modern Facilities Management Podcast, brought to you by Stratum. I'm your host, Griffin Hamilton. This is the show where I interview industry experts who share their stories, strategies, and insights into modern-day facilities management. From hospitality to commercial real estate and everything in between, we'll learn what it really takes to succeed as a facilities manager.
Welcome to another episode of the Modern Facilities Management Podcast. Today I've got Cindy Hermsen all the way from Spain joining the show. Cindy, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, Griffin. So a lot of thanks for having me over here. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. I'm very happy we're able to connect here today. I know we've gone back and forth virtually via LinkedIn quite a bit, and I'm excited to actually have this conversation and dive into a lot of really interesting topics of conversation here. But before we dive into it, why don't you tell the audience who you are and what you do?
Yeah, thank you. I'm Cindy Hermsen. Exactly. I'm Dutch. I'm from Holland, but I've been living in Spain since I was like 21 years old. So I'm almost more Spanish than Dutch in the meantime, which is a strange mixture, I must say. But yeah. I'm the CEO of the Global Alliance of Facility Management Innovators, which is an organization that I set up a little bit less than 2 years ago. And what we do, what we aim for, and what we really are doing is we are creating a platform, a meeting point where the FM industry can meet up with startups with technology and digitalization solutions for the facility management industry. And we really think we hit a sweet spot over there because there are many people interested in it. It's great to see how many good solutions are thought about, like young guys like yourself, to modernize our industry, and also to see how the facilities managers themselves want to meet new solutions and get ahead in their process of digitization. So it's great.
Yeah, no, it's a great mission there. And with the changes that we've seen over the last few years, and that's been significant in and of itself. But as we continue to move forward with new technologies, I'm excited to see where it goes. But before we get to the nitty gritty there, what spurred or prompted you to come up with this organization and have this mission to make that connection there?
Yeah, well, 2 years ago, a little bit more than 2 years ago, so I was asked by a Spanish service provider in the facilities management industry to set up an innovation program. So they wanted to, they saw this digitalization coming and saw how startups in other sectors were like disrupting business. And these smart guys, and they said, listen, if this is happening anywhere else around, so then it has to be happening to the facility management industry also. But where are these startups, So they asked me to scout, to look around, to get in touch with different accelerators and incubators and set up this open innovation platform for them. And that's what I did. It was great fun, but also difficult, because what I saw is that it is not at all easy for facility managers to get in touch with tech startups. You're in the US, that's a very advanced country, but for many other countries, there's just no big ecosystem around. And then when you see how facilities management is so broad in activities, we go from waste to cleaning to maintenance to pest control. There's so much going on in the profession of a facility manager that there are also loads of niche startups working on many of aspects. And to have a full range of solutions that can work for you, well, then you've got quite a job. And that's the job that I did. And then the end of the of this journey, I said, listen, it's crazy. This information should be available for everybody. It is so important now that we, as a facilities management industry, go ahead with digitalization. This information has to be available for everybody. I also was counting a little bit on the Facilities Management Association to say, hey, but I saw that there's nothing there neither, which is like, okay, that's why we are a little bit complementary to the classic associations that there are out there. We do a different thing. We're not an association as such. We're a membership-based platform, a meeting point. And our first membership is a free basic membership. So for anybody to come on board and get to know a first pack of 15 startups with different solutions for the facility management industry. And so really we want to make FM Tech, as we coined it, available for everybody.
Yeah, and really driving the community there as well, and just having that community feel, bringing everyone together. And you nailed it with how overwhelming it could seem with how many different aspects of a facilities manager job there are, right? And there's, like you said, there's technology available for each different area, and it's difficult to begin that process. And so I guess with that, when someone does get involved with your organization, is there an introduction? Is that just here's the options that are available? Do you guide them in a specific direction? How does that typically work?
Well, in the free basic membership, which is the membership that we have launched now a month ago, we are more into teaching and into offering a first agenda full of startups that people can watch in contact. So on our platform, it's a video-based platform. We ask all the startups to give us their presentations, which are presentations of 2-3 minutes normally. And we put these presentations on our platform. And in the meantime, I do also explainer videos telling people on basic things. Let's say, what is a startup? Many people do not know exactly what a startup is. And why you are around, and what makes you so different from other normal companies out there, which is quite interesting also to give a context around everything that is happening on digitalization. So then what we do also is to bring up videos, short videos. It's always 2-3 minutes, teaching on to boost your tech knowledge, because we really have to know what IoT is, for example, in this industry. This is one of the basic things that we have to know. Sensors, what are they doing? What can we do with these data? How can we optimize our processes? What are startups doing there? And in what way does it affect privacy in offices, for example? Stuff like that. Of course, artificial intelligence, which is booming, of course, in the next coming years. That's a big subject. And now our little devil Zuckerberg, he's coming up with the metaverse. What will that bring us? And I can't give an answer on that. That's too far away. But of course, it will influence us, and we have to get prepared, or at least watch what is happening. Be aware of that things are changing, and think as an industry altogether how this will influence it. In the metaverse, there's nothing to clean and nothing to maintain.
Yeah. No, I love that. And what you started out with there, just kind of the intro, and that's something where you touched on it earlier as far as, me being in the United States, of how advanced we are. And that's something where it's obviously not the same across the globe, right? There's a lot of people that aren't starting out with the same foundational knowledge that we're fortunate to have over here. And so a quick question on that. What is the reach of the organization? Obviously you're global.
Yeah.
What has been the reach thus far, and what's kind of the mission there?
We've got members from anywhere. Maybe it was also a little bit from an innocent point of view. When you go on LinkedIn and when you start talking on LinkedIn, like I do every week, you cannot say we limit ourselves to that part. And so we get people in from anywhere. So that's from Sweden to Nigeria, and from Canada to India and the whole world around. And what we have seen in the last months is that, of course, facility managers from different parts of the world have different kind of problems. For example, if you're in an economy that is coming up, your first problem as a facility manager is the power grid. You go like, huh? The power grid? Yeah, the power grid. And then the second one, of course, is the internet connection. So technology solutions for these areas are also adapted to the problems and also to the bandwidth that is available over there. So there's little creative pools around the world giving solutions to the local problems. And then after that, of course, in the end, the mobile phone has made us all equal. We're just as digital in Vietnam as we are in I don't know, in Mexico. Because these mobile phones, these smartphones, the way that they make us live in our personal lives, shopping online, talking online, etc., solving the lights in our houses with 3 clicks, clack, 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 that is something that made us, our mentality, world mentality is, we all think that's great and we all love it. Yeah. So yeah, we're global. Yeah. But we do understand now, of course, we go on talking to many people that maybe at one time we should make groups of people on the meeting, on our meeting point, with the same kind of problems, looking for the same kind of startups to give solutions. And we will see how that will how we will organize this in the next coming months. But yeah, it is a reality. We're not the same, and we're the same, but we're not the same. You know, it's yeah.
Yeah, there's similar problems across the industry, yet, as you just mentioned, having your own unique set of problems depending on where you're located and the technology you have, available at your fingertips. And I guess with that, even kind of take it back home here, there's still a lot of organizations that are in that manual process where they're, pen and paper, and they haven't really embraced technology yet. How are you addressing that, where it's not necessarily the resources available, but it's just the mindset and that mentality shift of going from manual to digital?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we just try to tickle. We just talk. We say, hey,
Yeah.
listen to this. Look at that. Have you thought of this? It is. I think it's very important that the players in the market. So we've got like the corporate FMers, we've got the service providers, we've got the consultants, and now we've got this new player, the FM Tech. We coined it startup, who comes with a lot of power, with a lot of money behind it, with a lot of marketing effort and knowledge, and you promise to turn things around, and that makes other players in the market in the need or to reposition, to rethink their business plans, to say, okay, because it's not only what you do as one of the players in the market, what you do with tech, but it's also what your client does with tech, and then you have to adapt to that. Now, the very popular workplace management solutions, for example, that are there with the hybrid working, that came up as a very key, one of the very popular new digital applications for FM. A service provider can think, they can organize their office the way they like. Yeah, that's true, but it's not only that these workplace management solutions are made for organizing who sits when where, Features in there are made for data-driven cleaning. And then, as you are a service provider of a corporate client who installed a workplace management solution, maybe next year you got a tender on your desk in which it says that you have to plug in to a data, or you have to make a proposal for data-driven cleaning, because the employees at that office can ask by phone that the meeting room where they were just sitting and talking, when they go out, they touch a button and say, I want a cleaner now. Not in a static route, no, now, for example, or hot desks that have to be cleaned immediately after somebody's going home, another person is coming in, for example. These kind of things do heavily influence you. Although you're not going into tech, as your surrounding is getting more into technology, you will have to change too. And what is an FM consultant if he cannot advise his clients on the newest trends? These kind of things are important. Yeah, I mean, let's open our eyes. New things are
Yeah,
coming. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, and the last couple of years specifically have really forced us to evolve very, very quickly. I mean, we can't, as you just alluded to, the hybrid workplace. I mean, that is a model that is extremely common right now, and a couple of years ago it wasn't. And so we in facilities have had to evolve over time. And to your point, bringing new technology to the table to, if you're a consultant, for example, to your clients and saying, hey, here are some options available. And that is just an example of what we've lived through over the last couple of years. But looking ahead, that's not going to stop. We've got to continuously evolve over time. And I guess that being a good segue into the direction we're going as an industry, and you being intimately familiar with new startups out there and what I guess new technologies are being brought to the table. So I guess shed some light there. Where do you see the direction of FM tech? What do you think is going to be in short term game changers that we need to be keeping an eye out for?
Yeah, game changer for me, climate action. We're now talking this week a lot about Glasgow and things are going on. The world needs action, and this will be on the table of the facilities management as per now. And yeah, you've got this E of ESG, environmental. What a horrible word in English. But it affects a lot of things. Facility manager is responsible for the food and beverage supply in an office. You've got food waste over there. There is a solution, a technology solution from a startup from the UK, and also I think it's got roots in the US too. It's like a combination, and they can cut food waste down with 30%. That's important. These kind of things can happen. It's a little device that sits on your litter bin and analyzes with computer vision what you are throwing away, then calculates with weight, etc., the amount of money. It's a lot of course, again, it's also to create savings. So for the planet and for your budget, it's a good solution. Predictive maintenance, of course. Let's prevent our machines from leakages. Let's maintain our goods well so that they don't need a replacement soon, but hold on some more years. Energy. How is our HVAC system working? Does it take into account what weather it is outside? Does it take into account in which spaces people are using that day or not? And this is again connecting maybe with workplace management solutions. Do these know which spaces are occupied that day? And is the machinery of climate machinery, HVAC machinery, adapting to that or not? Recycling. There are sensors who are taking a look at your containers if they are full or not, and send the trucks out to empty them just on time when needed, so no litter is flying around. There's so many stuff. It's so interesting and so broad, and there's so many smart people working on that to make this world a better place. So yeah, climate action, I think that's very important. Now we have had now the hybrid part. Now let's go to the climate. Yeah.
No, that's really interesting, and it kind of ties it together with the spectrum that facilities covers, right? And so and it takes a special individual to be a facilities manager, because you have to have an eye for the entire building. It is, to your point, the recycling containers, it is the waste, it is the HVAC units, right? So it's so much you have to keep your eye out for, and there's so much potential for unique solutions. And I had yet to hear about the food waste opportunity there. Of, again, as you mentioned, the sustainability and environmentally friendly solution there, but simultaneously, if you're reducing your food expenses by 30%, that's a legitimate, tangible business case right there to implement that type of technology. And so it's really interesting to see the two go hand in hand, where you're getting these environmentally friendly solutions coming in that also save you money. It's just a win-win across the board.
Exactly. And there's no like also maintenance solutions, how they glue communication together. No more 20,000 emails, WhatsApps, and no, it's all streamlined in one procedure. There's nothing lost. I think it's fantastic.
It gets you excited for the future.
I'm really positive about all this, and we have to, we have to move around, things have to change. And until now, facilities management was not really considered, even by the startups, 3 years ago, as it is a business which is like behind the scenes. You can be the biggest facility manager of the biggest Bank of America, but if there's a budget for innovation, it normally goes to fintech, to the core business, and not to the facilities manager. And that's one of the difficulties too, that as a facilities manager, you yourself have to start looking. Nobody helps you with that, and that's why we are here. We're here to help, to say, hey, listen, come over, take a look. On our platform, we've got a big portfolio of startups. Just take a look at what they are doing. Think on how you can adopt them as a provider, as a supplier, or maybe if you're a consultant, maybe you want to partner up with the startup. But normally the startups, they start in their own country and then are getting a little bit bigger, and then the ones from the US normally go to Canada, the ones from Portugal go to Brazil because of the language. But of course, a startup is made to scale. They want to grow, and that's what they do, and that's what their investors also ask for them. So that means that for local facility management incumbents like consultants or service providers, there's now a huge opportunity to get in touch with startups and say, listen, I'm a specialist here in the market. Shall we partner up? Can I sell your services? I mean, there's lots of opportunities, and it's now, how much, like in the music industry, with Spotify, how did Spotify destroy the music industry completely? What would the music industry today have given to go 10 years back and be able to connect to Spotify or make some kind of business agreement, or get involved with Spotify and be and ride that wave of change instead of getting slapped in the face? I can tell you, I mean, they would give millions. Now we're at that point as an industry. There are loads of startups over there that still need help and that are still open to talk to the classical players in the market, and together create a top service for that corporate client, for example. And it's a world of opportunities for sure.
You're absolutely right. And something else that something you mentioned prompted me to start thinking of this is just going from it being kind of a cost center, that mentality of being a cost center, as opposed to an opportunity to invest, as you alluded to, making these partnerships and investing in these different technologies, where that is a mentality shift that has to occur. Because the example you gave earlier, as far as the food waste, I mean, that is a legitimate, tangible business case for saving money, and it's not a cost just leaving. And that is how, unfortunately, a lot of facilities organizations are viewed as a cost center.
Yeah.
And changing that, what needs to occur for that to occur?
Yeah, but it's not only saving money, it's also adding value. And if we as facility management industry always complain that we do not want to be seen as a cost center, well, let's not act as a cost center then. Let's start with ourselves. Nobody will give a solution to that if we're not doing it ourselves, okay? So we have to stand up and step out of that Pygmalion effect that we're putting on ourselves, saying, oh, we're a cost center. No, step out now and say, I add value to this corporation. I add value to the planet. And you know how I do it? I've got good solutions for climate action, to contribute to the ESG politics of my company, to say it beautifully. I can add value to the employees here who work in a hybrid situation, because I've got the perfect catering plan now established for people coming around at any time of the day and leaving at any time of the day, because there's no control over there anymore. Our hygiene is perfect, and people feel safe when they come to the company, and the quality of air is perfect. Adding value. Now is the moment. Now we are in the spotlights as a facilities manager. We can be in the spotlight, but we have to grab that chance. Not leave it slip let it slip away. And it's the startup technology that makes it possible to be in that light. To be in that light and to add value. I sometimes think that we have to change our name. We should not be facility managers. We should be the building user experience department.
Might be an acronym that we need to come up with there.
Yeah, for sure. If it's user experience, then you say, okay, experience, yeah, per se is a word that says value.
Yep.
And we add value for the people coming into our buildings. That might be clients and that might be employees. And how do we do that? We do it with and put it on the table. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This sounds very cool. Eh? I'm a very cool speaker when I warm up, but yeah, I think we can do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton of opportunity right there in front of us. And to your point, just waiting, we're at this crucial moment right now where technology is really coming front of mind. There's a lot of partnerships just waiting to be had. And now it's just a matter of going out and executing, right? And there's a ton of opportunity here. And I'm really excited to see over the next couple of years, really what happens to the industry as a whole. And you guys are doing great work and really facilitating that community and having these startup and these emerging technologies available for everyone to see. And so, Cindy, with that, how can people find you guys, get involved? What steps can be taken to connect with you guys?
Yeah, well, we're very active on LinkedIn. So that's me as a person, Cindy Hermsen. You can look for that, Hermsen, as you say. We've got a website, fminnovators.org. Where you can go to. There's also, you can get on the free basic membership right now if you want to. And then you will be given by us for free these 12 sessions of explainer videos in combination with startup presentations that you can put right into your pocket and start working with these guys, directly calling these startups and saying, okay, I would love to do a demo with you and show me what you can do. And you might not be a direct buyer, but it is important that the facility manager or the industry says, I want to see what is happening. And I want to compare different solutions. And, that we slowly get involved, slowly and quickly at a time. So that's on our website, fminnovators.org. In a later stage, that is in the beginning of next year, we will start up our Boost Your Innovation program. Just as a free basic membership is for individual facility managers from anywhere in the world, the Boost Your Innovation program will be for corporations. So that means that it will be a paid program, and there we invite corporations to come in from service providers, FM consultants, and corporate FM departments to get in, and for a small amount a month, like €300 more or less, come together on that platform and watch again all these startups that we have coming in, which in this first free basic membership that's 15, but we've got like 30 or 40 more of them just waiting to be presented to the market and talk to people and get involved. So that would be the next step, which we are setting up now slowly for the beginning of next year. And everybody is very much invited to come over and take a look.
Well, perfect. Well, I'll certainly include those links to the show notes here. But Cindy, thank you so much for coming on and telling what you guys are doing. It's really exciting. I love the mission there, and certainly loving to stay in touch with you.
Great. It's very nice that you had me today, and thanks a lot. Have a great weekend.
You as well. Take care, Cindy.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Modern Facilities Management Podcast. Make sure to subscribe for future episodes and visit our website, stratumcommunity.com, for more facilities management content.